Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. I am James, and you're watching Blue Dog Reptiles. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday with your friends and family, and if you got bored, you watched some of our videos, because, hey, why not? We're always here for you, and we always will be. Now, today we're going to talk about something that I see a lot in my store, and that's, let's see if I can say it right, ophidiophobia. There it is, the fear of snakes. I have so many people come in that have an extreme fear of snakes, ophidiophobia. There we go, I'm saying it right. Man, I actually had to Google how to say it because I looked it up and I was like, how on earth? Thankfully, Google helps you out there. But we have some people that will come in and they won't even enter our reptile area just because they know there's a snake there. They don't even have to see the snakes. We actually have a client that won't step past my threshold. He comes in for feeders for his geckos and lizards and stuff, and he will not leave the mat by my front door because of his extreme fear of snakes. Now, this comes from lots of different things on where it could be in our life. You know, maybe as a kid we were bitten by a snake, or our brothers or sisters taunted us with a snake, or just those crazy videos where people make snakes out to be bad things. Or if you want to be religious about it, you have the serpent, which is a representation of the devil, which is bullcocky. It's not. Snakes are amazing animals, and they actually do a great part for our environment. We actually had our neighbors a couple doors down came and they got me the other day, and they're like, do you have a snake on the loose? And I'm like, no. I'm like, why? And they're like, well, we have this big snake. And I'm like, hey, I don't have any big snakes currently, so no. And I went and found out and looked at the shed, and it was just a normal garter snake. I have seen people go nuts with their ophidiophobia, and like, they'll be mowing a lawn and they're like, snake, and they will turn that mower straight to go after that snake. Don't do that. Leave them alone. Let them be. They are a great part of this ecosystem. So, what we're going to do is we are going to show you. Now, me, I am not scared of any of my reptiles. If I get bit, hey, I get bit. If they're sassy, guess what? It's just one of those days. We actually had a client when I was just starting out here that freaked out because I had a little baby snake that while I was working as an enclosure, he was sitting there biting me, and she started screaming, and I was like, what's the issue? And she's like, he's biting you. And I was like, oh, stop that. These guys are nothing to be scared of, but we are going to show you and talk about different things to help you if you deal with ophidiophobia. That is such a mouthful. Now, I'm not saying to conquer your fear going out and buying a snake, because odds are, if you are that terrified of snakes, you are probably going to neglect that animal. Not because you wish harm or ill will toward that snake, but it's just because you're so scared of it that you don't want to interact with it. I would recommend that if you have that big of a fear of snakes, my buddy Dylan, he's been my friend for almost 20 years. When we first met, he was terrified of snakes. Even the sight of one would freak him out. Now, 20 years later, he can hold ball pythons, but that's a big step from where he used to be. But it takes time. This isn't something that can happen overnight. I would recommend that if you want to conquer your fears, come on down. We are more than happy to help you with this fear and help you get over it. Or if you have a friend that have a snake, just go over and sit in front of its enclosure. I'm not saying to go in and touch it. Sit in front of it, because it'll help you out so much just being in the presence of a snake. People are like, oh, they're slimy and they're slithery, and of course they're slithering. They don't have legs. They gotta move around, but they're not slimy. They're scaly, but they're not slimy. Now, one of the snakes I'm gonna pull out today is actually one of our little bit sassier snakes. It is our Superconda Western Hognose. Now, he is growing like a weed, but he's just a derp. He's just food hungry. Oh, yep, see, he's going to come up, and he's going to go, ow, what are you doing? I'm going to hiss. I'm going to make myself so big and so scary. But look at that. even a big, tough snake. Now, you got to remember, these guys are so small that they have to make themselves look big and look scary to ward off other predators that would be in the wild. Now, for us, it's not the case. Look at that. Frogs are coming out. And the crazy thing is these guys, their primary diet is in the wild is actually amphibians. They love to eat frogs, but in captivity, that's actually harder to do. So it does take time for us to transition these guys over to mice. Now, this one right here, see, is squirrely, is crazy, but you don't hear any of the hissing. Nothing like that. Now, there are snakes that are all mouth, and some of them can back it up, and that would be a bull snake. We actually did a video a while back, I think it was a short actually, where we had a baby bull snake and you could hear it hissing through its enclosure. It was so angry about everything. And that's just how bull snakes are. They are all hiss and all mouth, but they can pack it up with a bite. Now, moving back to conquering our fears. Now, let's say that you go over and now you're comfortable. You're comfortable just sitting in front of the enclosure. Maybe that takes a week, maybe that takes a year. Go at your own pace. Don't rush yourself, because A, we don't want you getting harmed, and because I like animals, we don't want our animals getting harmed. A lot of times when people are scared, they can death grip animals, and unfortunately this can lead to injury. This is why we always recommend that when animals are around, we want to make sure that there's always a parent present when kids are trying to handle animals. That way they can intervene or they can help out. Now, like I said, if you get to the point where you can sit in front of the enclosure and you're okay with this just moving around, ask your friend, hey, can you pull the snake out? Get comfortable at that point with just the snake being out of its enclosure. You don't have to touch it. And again, if this takes you a week or a year, or where you can actually be close up, that's perfectly okay. Now, when we get to that point, maybe you want to come up and you want to touch him. Just touch him. I mean, look at how cute that is. Look at how cute that face is. How could you be scared of that little cute face? This is stuff that takes time, and we here at Blue Dog Reptiles want to make sure that you and the animal are safe, and we want to make sure that you guys are comfortable. So, hopefully this helps give you some tips if you do want to conquer your fear of snakes. If you're not scared of snakes, then come on down and get a snake, because we have lots of them. So with that being said, guys, thank you to all the new subscribers. You guys are absolutely beautiful. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Also hit that like button, because it does help out the channel. It lets the algorithm know, man, those frogs are telling us it's time to go. But the like button helps tell the algorithm that you'd like our videos, and it pops up more with new videos. We also have additional videos here on the screen, and the like button somewhere around here. Stay beautiful, guys, and I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you next time.